Hello everyone, my name is Frosty R&B. Today I'd like to showcase my Nintendo 64 collection. It's kind of actually pretty big, so let's go ahead and start off the system. Just like most people, I also have the just standard color N64. This is the black. I forgot what they call the black version, but this is the 1.0 version, so this is the release date version. So you can take out the cartridge like something something. I forgot how long the duration was, but it was like 10 seconds or something, 5 seconds at most. So there's that, and then the N64 controller. I have four of them, but how I hold the N64 controller is way different from most people. Usually I take my entire left hand, place it like this, so it looks like this, right? And then on my right hand, I press the Z button with my middle finger, and that's how I usually play. Usually it's like I have this grip, usually most of the times the joystick is going to be on here. So that's how I usually play Nintendo 64 games. I would argue it's the most unique control grip for N64 in my personal opinion, but a lot of people have different ways to play it. Because N64 controllers, you guys can tell, they're not designed well, in my personal opinion. They look cool, but they don't, but the comfort of it, not really. So I got the black one, the yellow one. I wanted the Donkey Kong Bonono controller, but apparently that one's limited edition, so I decided to pass on it. And the blue one, so that's 464 game, that's 464 controllers, and then I got the Game Shark. I only use this for Star Fox 64 and Bomberman Hero, because those games are actually really hard to complete, 100% to be honest, guys. And I just kind of take it, so. And then before we move on to the games, I know this is like kind of boring, but this is usually where I store all the N64 stuff. So I have the cartridge, 13 cartridge slot, and then whatever it's like I don't consider as my top games, I put them like down here, which is like an extra slot that you could put almost anything. It's a really heavy case, and with the amount of games I have for N64, it's a lot. But it's a really good system. So, no particular order. I'm just going to go ahead and go through my N64 games. I try to sort them out by series, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. So, we got Super Mario 64, probably the first N64 game I've ever played, just like everyone else. It was a launch title. It's a pretty good game, but it's really outdated compared to the the newer 3D Mario games. So it's very short, but most people love to speedrun this game for whatever reason. I mean, it's a fun game, but I probably could never get into speedrunning. Ah, yes, Paper Mario 64. This, in my opinion, is probably the best Paper Mario, in my personal opinion, only because of the completion aspect. This one only takes about 20 hours to complete, including max levels, the title logs, and the cooking ingredients and all that other jazz. Thousand Year Door, definitely not tolerable in my personal opinion. If you guys ever completed Thousand Year Door, you'll understand what my pain is. But to me, this is the best one, and I'm not talking about nostalgic reasons because I literally played this just last year summer on stream, so I know exactly. Still fresh in my mind. And then what we have here is Yoshi's Story. This is considered to be the baby game in the internet for the N64 days. I don't blame people for titling that because Yoshi's Story is actually really easy. I think you could complete this in 4 hours, maybe 4 hours at minimum, if not maybe 4.5, because it's a very short game. And then we have the Zelda Ocarina of Time 1.0 version. This is the gold cart, so this will have like the uncensored stuff like Ganon's barf. Supposedly Ganon's supposed to puke at the end, but he spits out blood. There's the Muslim like symbols in this game as well, and then there's the Muslim and the Islamic. I think it's the Islamic chant in the Fire Temple. In my personal opinion, though, every time this is actually my least favorite 3D Zelda game, but it's still a good one. It's just that every time I replay it, the Fire Temple really heats me up, and I really wish they would fix those problems in the 3DS version, but they didn't. But I love the Water Temple. Everyone hates the Water Temple. I love it. But other than that, get any version you want. I personally prefer the 1.0 version. And also, guys, just disclaimer: there's no player's choice or million choice seller editions, only because I don't like them. They're like the considered the censored slash patched up versions. So here we have Majora's Mask. What I love about Majora's Mask, it's a phenomenal game. And then, as you guys can hear that, I know it's very irritating to hear that on camera, but it's very scratchy. It's very hollow. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's a holographic version. There is a non-holographic version out there that's worth more, but it's literally almost no different. I didn't play Majora's Mask until when I was around 8 years old. I think that was when it was like 2005. Yeah, I think around 2005 or 2006. I was very late to come and play this game, but it's a very good game. I don't recommend starting that game out if you're trying to get into Zelda, though. It's a very hard. So here we got the Bomberman games. Bomberman's Second Attack. This is actually a really expensive and rare game to find. Not only that, it's a very hard game. I completed it one time. I tried to get back into it. I couldn't do it again. That's how hard this is. But if you ever get a chance, definitely, I would recommend it if you can find it like $50 or so, because I think loose cartridge goes for like 110 right now, and it's crazy. And disclaimer: this is actually the most expensive N64 game in this entire collection. So take it out with a cane of sugar, because holy cow, it's a really blasting game. Oh, my bad puns in me. So, but this one's actually more tolerable to find. Bomberman 64. This is such a broken game. So, Bomberman 64, the Second Attack, focuses more on story. This one focuses just the transition between 2D to 3D for Bomberman, which didn't go well in my personal opinion, but it's it's actually a lot easier than the Second Attack. But I don't have much memories of this game other than playing with multiplayer, but 100% in this one is quite difficult. There's a lot of physics errors in that game, but it's like whatever. That's how the N64 was. And then Bomberman Hero, this one actually lets Bomberman actually jump in this game, and there's actually more emphasis on platforming, whereas these two, you can't jump at all. I mean, you could with the bomb jumps, but this one does not require bomb jumps to actually maneuver and platform. Everyone knows this game by Redial. If you guys don't know what Redial is on this OST, it's a song that plays over and over and over again. Think of it as the game's main theme. That's what this game is known for. The drums and bass, not bad actually. Alright, moving on. We got some of the rare games. I didn't sort out the rare games in time, so it's like whatever. Donkey Kong 64. I remember when I was a kid, I really enjoyed this game. I think I replayed it like 7 times when I was a kid. But it's known as the collectathon game, and this one isn't really a must-have and go buy it now kind of deal. It's just more of like if you're into 3D platforming, this is a good game. But I might have to replay this game again on stream just to be sure, because I think there's some parts wrong with it. I just can't remember which one it was. But there's a lot of innuendos in that game. Holy cow. I do remember that part. But this is a game that you should go buy it now. And don't worry, I'm going to be doing a top 10 recommendations if you're starting with 64 collecting. So Diddy Kong Racing is a very, very golden gem in my personal opinion. Banjo first appeared in this game. Conker first appeared in this game. I have so much memories with this game. Like, played it. It was one of the first games I played with my mom when I was younger. And I would just pretend I'm driving a car and something. You know, like little boys and driving the cars and whatnot. That's how we were back then. But love this game. Fantastic soundtrack. It's for gush. I could gush over for this game for hours and hours. But I think you guys will prefer that if I do that on stream. So, but when Conker used to be supposed to be childhood friendly, he went M-rate mature, drinking alcohol, swearing, a lot of smart mouth remarks. It's just really hilarious. This game is good, but it's pretty expensive. And I didn't play this game until like my third year in high school. So I played it very, very late. But controls are very floaty. take that with a can of sugar, because it's not a precise game as like the other platformers, but it's a pretty good one. It's pretty short too. I think you could complete it in 10 hours, maybe 8 hours at minimum. But and then right here, guys, speaking of difficulty, Jet Force Gemini, in my personal opinion, has the most difficult N64 boss in the entire generation. In my personal opinion, this game is one of the few shooters I own in my collection, of just in general. It's a very hard game. I've only completed it once with a guide, and without that guide, I don't think I could ever finished it. But it's a very hard game. If you're into difficulty, I would definitely recommend it. If not, just play through the entire main story without the extras, and you're good. It does have a Diddy Kong Racing reference. So for those who have played it, you guys will know what I mean. Next off, we got the Pokemon series. So it's best to talk to these together. So Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, in my personal opinion, these guys are really good games, but they're unfair difficult if you only choose the random Pokemon. Stadium 2 is the one I recommend way more than Stadium 1. There's still some bugs in this game from Generation 1, because everyone knows Generation 1 is the worst Pokemon series out there. But Generation 2, as you guys can tell, Totodile and Chikorita, I love Generation 2 to death. Oh boy, I have way more memories with this game than this game. But if you really are curious about Generation 1 meta battle physics, go with Pokemon Stadium 1. This is probably the one I did completed. I completed both of them at one point, but this is the one I could consistently complete. But Stadium 2 is a lot harder, but it's a lot more enjoyable. So everyone plays these for the mini games these days. This one has way better mini games in my personal opinion. And not only that, it actually has, so if you guys can see it, gold and silver. It's hard to see the silver part, but everyone knows this is the best one to go, in my personal opinion. Next up, we got Pokemon Puzzle League. Really just a Tetris attack skin puzzle theme game for Pokemon, but with the original like Pokemon cast, including Meowth. Yes, guys, including Meowth's previous voice actor. It's a very, very good reincarnation, or not reincarnation. It's a very good variation of Pokemon of Tetris Attack, in my personal opinion. I would recommend it if you're into puzzle games. I'm personally into puzzle games, so it's not everyone's cup of tea. Yes, Pokemon Snap. I literally just streamed this yesterday on Twitch. Pokemon Snap isn't really my cup of tea. In my personal opinion, I don't think it deserves a sequel. I'm sorry to say that, guys. You guys can flame me if you guys want, but literally, I don't think it deserves a sequel. It's a fun game, but the price of this game for that you're gonna be putting in like an hour and 30 minutes in, personally not worth it. So I would recommend this on the Virtual Console. But here's the cool part though. Back in the old days when Blockbuster had a kiosk of this game, you could take your cartridge to any local Blockbuster at the time, put in the cartridge, and then print out the Pokemon stickers the Pokemon pictures that you took in the game, and then it'll give you like a roll of stickers or whatnot. You could take those stickers, like you literally are making a piece of art. And let me tell you guys something. Camera technology back then was very, very limited. So, but if you want something completely different, I would recommend it. But just be aware that it's pretty expensive for what you're paying for. Yes, and then Hey Pikachu. Probably the worst game I have in this entire collection. It's just a voice simulator. It's just a simulator where you have to deal with this annoying Pikachu. Oh my god, he is so unresponsive and irritating. It's like babysitting a child who never listens, in my personal opinion. But the difference is the child does learn. This Pikachu does not learn. And it requires a I think it's like a VRC unit, voice recognition unit. So you can't play this game unless you have it. And actually what's funny is that you could plug in any 3.5 millimeter jack into that voice recognition unit and play the game. You don't need the official Nintendo brand microphone to play the game. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little bit tricky to explain, but here I'm gonna be explaining. Banjo-Kazooie is actually one of my all-time favorite games of the N64. The only reason why I have two cartridges is because this one stopped playing almost like a few months ago. So I just wanted to rebuy it. The only reason I've kept it is because this is legitimately the first copy game I have. And it's literally the only worst condition game you'll ever see in this entire collection. So Banjo-Kazooie, I would definitely recommend it. It's like Mario 64, but like a more steroid version of it and more charm to it. So I may consider redoing this entire Let's Play single run project again, sometime in the summer. I don't know yet. Maybe winter. So definitely would recommend Banjo-Tooie. So it took everything from the sequel. It took out some stuff, but it also added more based on exploration and backtracking. You cannot 100% this game in a world. You can't 100% a world in one run. You have to like backtrack back and forth to learn new moves, and then backtrack, and then use those moves and gain that last Jiggy. It's kind of a stupid design in my personal opinion, but it's a pretty good game. Not the best though. So, all right. I think we're gonna go ahead and go through the Mario spin-off games, and there's a lot of Mario spin-off games. Okay, so Dr. Mario 64, just like Tetris Attack, it's just Dr. Mario, but with a lot of like Wario Land 3 references. So if you're not into puzzle games, I would suggest passing, but it's like one of the slowest puzzle games ever made, in my personal opinion. Fever's a good soundtrack though. Mario Kart 64. If you played like any of the newer Mario games, you pretty much already played far suppressed this game. My personal opinion, this is probably this. I mean, Super Mario Kart's the worst because it's the first one that came out. This one has not aged well at all. If you want to play any Mario Kart game, I go with Mario Kart 8 DX for the Switch, or maybe Mario Kart Wii. But Double Dash is also a good one too. But this one, not so much. I plan on streaming this one, and then maybe I don't know what to do with it afterwards. But this is the 1.0 version, and that's what I want to talk about as well. Some games you're gonna see like KA, and others you're gonna see like rated E. Yeah, KA was originally supposed to be just the rated E part, but they took it out for whatever reason. So rated E was like more convenient to put on the labels. Mario Tennis, in my personal opinion, this is one of the best series for the Mario Sports titles. And I don't mean this particular title I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about like Mario Power Tennis, Mario Tennis Aces. In my opinion, this is if you want literally like straight up tennis, no power ups, no gimmicks. This is the one to go, and this one you could connect to your Game Boy Color game via transfer pack and transfer your GBC character onto this game, and you can actually literally level up while you're playing in this game. It's actually really cool. I like it. It's pretty repetitive to complete though, just like any other Mario Sports titles. Golf is probably one I played the least, so I can't really talk about much about this one. It's, in my opinion, one of the harder game. Mario Golf is one of the harder series to get into. All right, I got 3 monsters here. Mario Party 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Mario Party 1, what's funny is that literally all the games that you play in this game are either like rotating the control stick with as fast as you can for bare palm, or it's just a simple one two buttons kind of deal. This one, I remember Nintendo issued a safety glove because a lot of people reported too many like blisters on their forehands, and originally you're not supposed to use your entire palm on the joystick, but because of the plastic is so hard and people didn't know about it, Nintendo just went ahead and freely issued those gloves. So it's pretty dangerous, it could be, but I like the mini game island in this game. It takes about 2 hours to complete, but I like it. And then two, in my opinion, is probably the best of the 3, in my personal opinion. Maybe because I have way more nostalgic memories for this game. But in this one, all characters are in their costumes of the that suit the theme of the board. I like it. Minigame coaster is pretty hard though, but there's a way to cheat it out. And honestly, if you want a Mario Party game on the 64, they're all expensive, equally expensive, except for 3. 3 is probably the most expensive one. Go with 2. I think you guys are gonna enjoy way more hours on this one than 1. That's one thing for sure. But Mario Party 3 is very debatable because most people always put these two hand to hand. The thing about Mario Party 2 is that there's no rotate the joystick controls anymore. Instead, they replace it with button mashing. So this was the first game they used button mashing. Whereas this one, they tried something new. I do like the designs of this one as well. The dual mode's pretty cool. It's very unique. Suits the board game mechanic very well. It's just that the mini games in this one, I feel like are slightly weaker compared to 2. Do not even get me started with The Beat Goes On. That is probably the worst mini game of the entire series for the N64 days. So, and yes, you guys can't have a collection, the N64 collection, without Smash 64. In my personal opinion, this is probably the second most broken one. This one's actually slightly more polished compared to Melee. I found less glitches in this one, less bugs compared to Melee. And you guys can tell, this is gonna go for like $7 more expensive compared to Player's Choice, because I think there was some like unfinished dialogue, if I'm not mistaken. But if you guys are curious about in 64 days of Smash 64, I would definitely recommend it. Just don't expect like Super Smash Ultimate in 64 days, because let me tell you, you're not gonna find it. But it's a very good game. Alright, so we're going to the what I call the singular series, which means like there's only one game I have in that series. So for example, Blast Corps. I haven't played much of it, but you destroy cities and earn points and whatnot. It's a fun little distraction, but probably not a must go buy it. Star Fox 64. Personally, my least favorite Star Fox game, but it's a really good one. Every time I want to play this game, I go for the 3DS version because I only want to play one level this entire game called Zonus. Beautiful, beautiful level. This one, no save function other than it's like exactly like an arcade. Now, mind you, most people are going to argue and say, you don't need a save system. You can just play the entire game and do the exact same thing. The thing is, though, I don't want to do that. I just want to, if I want to play a game or play a level, I want to pick it up, select that level right off the spot, and just play it through it instead of going through miscellaneous stuff. So people who want to replay stuff, this has good replayability, but only if you're willing to go take through the miscellaneous steps. For me, I can't tolerate it. It's not the worst Star Fox game, but it's probably my least favorite for like the actual Star Fox on Rails sittings. Assault's probably my most favorite. And we got Mischief Makers. It's just a 2D platformer that looks like a Super Nintendo game, but it's a very good one. It's pretty, there's some hentai jokes in this one. Well, light hentai jokes. So, I would recommend it, but it's pretty hard to complete. It's pretty hard to 100% complete. But this is the space shooter I played the most when I was a kid in 64 days. This is Star Soldier Vanishing Earth. You could complete this game within 2 hours. All levels, all secrets. It's like an arcade shooter. Can be difficult, but it's pretty uncommon these days. I don't really see this game that much anymore. So, I would definitely recommend it if you want something like arcadey feel. That one or Star Fox 64. Pick your space shooter. Star Soldier is more of a vertical shooter. So, Wave Race 64. I also have a lot of memories with this game. I love doing a barrel roll. The dolphin was also really cool to unlock. You could probably complete this game within 2 hours. It's very, very short. I love this game to death. A very good summer themed game. So, Blue Storm, I would say is less. I would say it's worse than the 64 version, but Blue Storm is also good too. And then the last game that we have in the collection is Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. This is the first Kirby game I've ever played. Most of these games I got introduced in the Nintendo series have all been from 64 besides Donkey Kong and Mario. But Zelda, I played Ocarina of Time, was the first Zelda game. My least favorite though. But Kirby 64, the gimmick with this one is it's a pseudo 2D platformer or pseudo 3D platformer. So it's 2.5D. You can mix and match power ups, crystal shards. There's not that many to find, but it's a pretty easy game, in my personal opinion. Master completion though is a very different story though, because it's very repetitive. But I definitely recommend this game. And actually, what's funny is that later tomorrow we're gonna be start 100% in completion this game on stream. As of this recording, it may be already be finished, but definitely check out the streams if you're into Nintendo games. So, guys, that's my entire 64 collection. If I were to recommend some games, it depends on the circumstances, but I'm gonna assume that most people are playing with single players because local multiplayer is a different story. But if you were to say like go buy an N64 right now and start collecting, here, oh, I gotta go through these games again, but here's what I definitely would recommend. And mind you guys, N64 games don't really have too many super great options for these days because it's like it's kind of outdated, but because Nintendo's been spoiling us with that stuff. But if I were to recommend, I already got three games on spot already, so it shouldn't take me too long to figure this out, but I think you guys might see it already. And guys, I'm not judging based off of nostalgic reasons, but the price may vary, but these are definitely some of the games I do recommend, and I'm gonna be going through 10 of them. And you already heard me gush enough already, so it's like almost half-hour video. Okay, so let's see. I guess this one. Okay. Let's see, this is actually 2, 4, 3, 5. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and exclude that. Alright. So if you were to buy an N64 right now, and this is actually not in any particular order, I would recommend these following games. Assuming that you only bought the N64 because you have no friends for local multiplayer. But here's what I recommend for single player. Conquered by Ferde, expensive, but it goes well, in my personal opinion. You're going to see, this is one of the last N64 games ever made, but very good humor. So there's that. I know this is my least favorite Zelda game, but I cannot pass saying that this is a good Zelda game starter, in my personal opinion. The only reason why I didn't recommend Majora's Mask on this list for starting out with the N64 is because it's far too difficult for anyone to get into the series for Majora's Mask because of the difficulty curve. To me, this is like a out of 5. This is 2 out of 3 for difficulty, or 2 out of 5, and then Majora's Mask is 4 out of 5. So go with this one. If you can find a clean save battery, I would highly recommend it because almost all 64 games use a flash memory. However, this one and Smash Bros. 64 uses a save battery. So take that into consideration. So any version's fine. I just go with the gold cart because I like it. Paper Mario. This one's going to satisfy you for a couple more hours. Most 64 games are very short, but this one is going to satisfy you for at least more than 10 hours. So it's a very good RPG game. And then, let's see. Either one of these will work. Banjo-Tooie I was hesitant to put on the list, but you're most likely going to love the first one way more. But this one is also, you don't need to play Tooie right after Kazooie. You can play Tooie before, but you're going to be like lost in like what's going on with these characters and how they know each other. But I feel like these two are really good on par with each other. So definitely would recommend those as well. Donkey Kong 64, if you want to like collecting stuff and you want more satisfaction for hours of gameplay, this one's good as well. It's frustrating, but it's good. It's a good one. Kirby 64, pretty short, but you can't go wrong with Kirby. Plus, I'm not speaking nostalgic reasons. It's a very good Kirby game. Everyone's always going to talk about it, so I don't need to talk about it. Stadium 2. I know this is only like a battle sim, but I would definitely recommend this if you were starting out for N64 collecting. There's way more single player content compared to Stadium 1. And this game actually makes you think. If you know Gen 2 meta as much as I have, it's going to make you think. And last but not least, the Golden Gem. I know this is mostly... No one really plays this for multiplayer, but single player, I would definitely recommend it. So, Diddy Kong Racing, I already gush over it. If you want me to gush over way more, I could stream it again on Twitch. So, there is my entire N64 collection, guys. If you enjoyed the video, as much as I love making this video, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Also, if you want me to, if you're into like Nintendo variety games, like we do a lot of Nintendo variety on Twitch, follow Frosty R&B, twitch.tv/Frosty R&B. Links will all be down below. So, I love to showcase all these games as much as I can because I feel like Nintendo 64 is my golden childhood because I spent most of my childhood with N64 and GameCube, but N64 have way more games. The only two games I'm missing in this collection are Rocket Robot on Wheels, which is a red cart game that's a platformer, and F-Zero X, but I don't really care too much about F-Zero X right now because GX pretty much spoiled me at this point. So, yeah, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. So, stay chilly, keep gaming. I will see you guys in the next one. Can't go wrong with this cartridge as well. Dup.